Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special unboxing, something coming in from Luft Concepts out in Wimberley, Texas. So pretty exciting stuff. Let's take a look and see what we got. All right, today I'm opening up my knife with my McNeese Ridge Runner right here, USA made knife. McNeese is the same guy who does the Mac 2. Really, really cool knife. Now you may ask, why are you opening up with that knife? Well, you'll see here in a second. This is something really, really cool. You know, it's my collection and my interest in knives has matured a bit. It's changed a bit over the years. So this is kind of along the lines of that as well. Let me just make sure there's nothing in here. Get nerdy. All right, let's see. Is there a receipt or anything in there? No. Okay, good. So we have a little bag right here. Nice, good. It's a big bag. That's a big one. All right, so Jake and Ryan have been working on a bunch of different things. I have the RWL, which I love. I had the Avant. That was a fantastic little guy. Love building that one out. And I know they're also at some point working on a USA made folder, but I know one of their other passions is, something along the fixed lines area. So let's take a look. What do we have here? This is something that I'm very honored to get a chance to check out. I really want to share this with you because a lot of you may have seen it. You may wonder, wonder what it's all about. And I do too. So here we're going to do it together. All right. So this is the blade right here. What do we have in here? We have, that's a nice hologram sticker. I would normally put these with the giveaways, but that's going on my wall of stickers. That's just freaking stinking cool. All right. So that makes the, we've got a little certificate authenticity. S45VN Stonewash Richlite Batch 1, proudly made in the USA. That's cool. We're going to put that over there. And sorry guys, this one's going on my wall of stickers. Maybe I'll have other Avant sticker that or Avant Luft Concepts that I can put off to the side. Now there was something here on the side. What is this saying? All right, so we got an Ulti clip on here, which I love. I love Ulti clips, by the way. I have several of these. Sharp edge. Be careful pulling knife out of the sheath. Yeah, so. That's always good to know, which I like these. These are good clips. Oh, this is cool. So they mentioned to me this is 3D printed, but this is not just your average, everyday, ordinary 3D home printer. This is production, high-end, commercial 3D printing. And I can see what they're talking about. First of all, that is a very unique sheath. Looks like a Kydex, but this is 3D printed, so it's supposed to have a really nice fit. Now notice, this is Richlite. This is a burgundy, tan, and black kind of a Richlite, micarta. I don't know. Richlite is technically a micarta, right? Technically, it's a paper with a resin sort of whatever thing together. But I love that. Oh, it is chamfered. That's nice. Okay, full tang. All right, and it's got a little nub, which is nice with a little traction. So kind of like a little flipper, right? Because you always want to be able to deploy it. Okay, so there we go. It clicks in. I like the click. That's the first thing. So here we go. Ready? I'm pretty excited about this. All right. So I know for some of you guys, you may like this. Some of you guys may not, but this is such a fun. Oh, okay. So it looks like it might be small like that, but when you get in there with that nice finger guard, your whole hand fits in there. Now I've got large hands with big meaty fingers. So I can choke it up like this. I still have a little room. So I think extra large with big meaty fingers. So this would be equivalent to right here would be equivalent to extra large hands with, I gave blood today, just so you know, that was a blood prick from giving blood. I didn't cut myself, so all you guys, don't worry. Yeah, this would be equivalent to a extra large hands with normal size fingers, double extra large hands with thinner fingers, right? So it does fit nicely in the hand. Nice. There's no sharp points. I love that. It's S45VN blades. I love the acid wash. I think this is, they call it stone washed, but this looks almost acid washed to me. That's cool. All right, very nice. Thick, robust, beefy blade. I love that. This is made in the USA. It's got a nice little kind of a look there, like a oh, I don't know, what do you call it? Fuller, right? But what's nice about that is if you're doing precision cut and you're trying to do something with a blade, sometimes that's exactly what you need. You need that little bit of precision to hold. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. So if you're doing a pinch, and if I was doing a cut like that, that's nice, right? And then I can still come in here. I can do. Oh yeah, that's nice. Got enough of a pokey little tip. I can get into it. It's not quite a pokey thing, but it is absolutely a slicey thing. That's a nice, thick, robust blade. We're going to do a full review on this, right? This is just my first unboxing, first impressions, and my first impressions are pretty darn good. USA made, which I love, and that's one of the reasons why I like McNee's. His is USA made. This is he's got a much larger production USA made. So USA made, usually smaller batches are going to be much more expensive. You start to get into volume production, then you have to make enough of them for it to become reasonable. And so McNee's, fortunate because he's done a lot of knives, his fixed blades has gotten to that point, right? And so he's got a little bit of history there. These guys, this is their first run. And I like this. I got to tell you, oh, that is, hold on. Yeah, okay, that's nice. That fits really nice in the hand. Nice jimping, okay. Not overly aggressive, like I'm going to, I'm trying to shred cheese, but I push down, I'm locked in. Okay, so I got to get a little piece of paper. This is this factory edge, right? And so I take every factory edge with a grain of salt, but I'd like to check it out, see how's it work. Yeah, I mean it's a catchy factory edge. But before we do that, let me grab my straw, because the factory edge sometimes just begs. So it looks like we're probably about 20, maybe 20-degree angle. What do we got? I just want to see. Let's clean that edge up. I've got a little strop compound on there. All right, I want to see, does that make a difference? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing. Come right off the edge, probably on a machine a sharpener, right? It's a belt sharpener or something like that. Probably has a little bit of burrs on there. You do a little bit of stropping, especially S45VN blade steel like that. I'm going to get that nice and crazy sharp. And then this becomes just a beautiful, beautiful slicer. Beautiful slicer. So here's the thing. I always say with anytime you get a knife, they can find the best clip in the entire world for it, and they could love it. And other people say this is the best clip in the entire world. The sheath, by the way, is amazing. They can say that, right? But the reality is, sorry, just really impressed with that. So this is a great in the pocket kind of carry. You can adjust this to go down a little bit further. So if you don't want it to be so high. So let's say, oops, am I doing? Yeah, I'm doing it wrong. Let's say you want this to ride a little bit lower in the pocket. You could, right? And what I like about this is I can put 2 loops on here, and then I can make this a vertical carry. Because typically I carry mine on my belt, my duty belt, like that, with 2 loops or a single ulti clip like that. Right, I do that. So you'll see here I have a tech lock. Sometimes I use. I like tech locks because this works on a duty belt, especially if I'm like working in the range or doing security or something like that. So I can lock that in place right on top of a a thicker, heavier duty belt. And so then I have this, because I'm right, my right hand is for the the pew pew thing, and then my left hand is usually where I'm trying to maybe I've used cuffs to detain someone, right? And then I need to release them from my nylon cuffs because I don't carry regular cuffs because I'm trying to be discreet, right? Something you would hardly ever use, but you always want to have a pair of these, right? So that works really nicely, and I carry it like that, and it's very comfortable. I really dig this. I think that's going to carry really well like this for left-handed. I'll be able to pull it out, coming in and out. It's going to click in and out really, really nicely. Now, I have to talk about, I dig that this is all contained in one sheath as well. And this does feel much higher end as far as 3D printing. So, I get, it's also doing it your home with a home 3D printer is really, really cool. There's some people who've done some incredible 3D printing, but if you have like a specific thing you're doing in a high volume, whatever stuff, I can see something like this. And so that's probably another whole level of business there. But this material, I really dig that. So I'm not normally into burgundy, right? And tan didn't really, but this combination with the blade and then with this material right here, I really dug it. And you have a lanyard loop, so lanyard people rejoice. You can absolutely put a lanyard in there. That looks like T15 or T20 or T25s. So we can take the scales off and you can clean them. So the reason why that's even important, let's say you go hunting and you have game and you're trying to clean it up, prep it, or you have food and you're prepping food, right? Because this would be a great camping prep knife. I mean, look at this. I mean, you could prep all day long at the campsite with this thing. This would be like cutting your steak, cutting your chicken, cutting everything, cutting vegetables. This thing would be great just as a prep tool. If you're skinning after you've hunted and caught your game, this would be a great skinning tool as well, right? So I think that would be absolutely stunning. So I think this really has a lot of functionality in that regard. I love the swedge here, by the way. You all know swedge, right? Swedge sometimes are just decorative, but swedge really has functionality. And as I've always said, if you're cutting through something heavy like plastic, leather, heavy cardboard, and you want to turn your blade, a swedge acts like a rudder like a boat in water. It allows you to turn better because the swedge turns away from the place you're trying to turn, which allows you to have a better turn that way or that way. If there's no swedge, there's more resistance to turn that knife. Now you're a lot of force that way and force that way. Here, there's less force this way, and you can turn and apply the force that way. So you can be easier to turn as you're cutting through that. So a swedge really is very functional. There's a lot of physics and engineering and force and whatever else you want to say, counterforce and vectors, and we can get into all the little nerdy stuff, but it works, right? It depends. Now, this is very specific to this area, so I'm assuming it's this kind of a cut area, like you're cutting through cardboard in this way. So it'll work, right? So as I'm trying to turn the cut right here, and you can see as I turn the cut, because the swedge is there, it allows this to be a little easier. If there's no swedge and I'm doing it right here, I'm hitting sooner, but here I can turn a little bit quicker, right? So that's the nice thing. I like that. And yeah, that definitely got sharper. I'm just really feel like I just want to strop it a few more times. So be patient. I'll fast forward through this. All right, so very, very good. All right, so let's just cut. I just got to cut one more. I just feel like, I don't know. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see, can I get this? Oh yeah. So. Yeah, it's definitely much sharper now. That's what I figure it was. USA, you're trying to get the life through. If you want to pay the guy who's doing the OEM work for you in the USA, that's time. That's time, and if that's important to you, that's one thing. I think most people who have a fixed blade, like myself, we like to strop. We like to maybe some people are even going to reprofile this edge. They're going to create a whole new apex because this looks like it's about 22 degrees. That's my guess here, especially with the thickness of the blade. It is a flat grind, not full flat, but pretty flat grind. It's pretty relatively slicey, but it's pretty thick, robust tang, full tang all the way through, which is what you really, really want. I love that. Let's see, where's the center of the knife? Yeah, balance right there. So that's pretty nice right there. It feels really balanced. It's going to make the cutting not as tiresome as you're using this, right? Especially if you're cutting, prepping, doing work. I like that because, typically, I don't want to cut my desktop here, but like right there, typically that's how I'm cutting, doing different things. This is great for breaking down boxes. This is great for opening boxes. And what I use it for, typically I will carry a nicer knife and I'll have a little fixed blade. And it's always nice to have a nice fixed blade, right? And I've been getting into fixed blades lately. I've got a lot of fixed blades. What started off was the tactile turn, the dread eye. I love that one. Then I was, what did I get after that? I was gifted a knife, a strop knife from Strop Knives. Is it the V5, D5? I can't remember, but it's one of the series. That's a really cool knife, and I really enjoy that one. It's my use and abuse knife. It was given to me as a gift from a guy named Chef Rocky. I was really kind of him, and I love that knife, and it is my abuse and use knife. You don't see it a lot because it's an abuse and use knife, right? So he gave it with the intention that I would use it, and I do. I use it. So Chef Rocky, if you watch this, you happen to get a glance at this, know that I'm using that knife and I'm abusing that knife as you intended me for. And I think the designers, because Strop Knives, they're made from USA made knife veterans, right? So then after that, I got the Ridge Runner. I really was, I checked out Quite Carry Mark. It is made in Taiwan, so not quite China. Definitely a step up, right? But Quite Carry has this ergonomic design. That's a big boy. It's a big knife. We're looking over 9 inches. It looks like a full Bowie, kind of a, full backpacking, bushwhacking kind of knife. But it carries really well. And the handle is the most incredible grip on there for such a size knife. Still blows me away. Then I got then I ended up buying the McNeese Ridge Runner, USA made knife. Love that knife. When I said it, I said, man, this is probably one of the best knives in 2024, right? it got Atlanta Blade Show Best Fixed Blade of the Year. So I figured did not surprise me. I was super excited for Jonathan to win that one. Then after that, I actually bought the Mark at around Christmas time. Really great. I actually bought two. There was a great sale. I really had an opportunity to buy two, and I thought, okay, I'll buy two. I was going to maybe give one away at the channel. I kept one. I'm absolutely keeping one. Well, my son was here. He really, really liked the knife. And I've been trying to see what knives he likes, and I'm trying to give him a knife, and he really liked that knife. So I was going to give it to him. He didn't want to me give it to him, so he insisted I pay for it. So I made him pay for it very minimally, just not close to what I paid for it. But he did. He paid for it. That way, I mean, one way, he'll value it more, right? Because he goes hunting a lot. Now it's a bigger knife, not a small EDC like this. And I really like this size. I really like the size. The Militaw, the Kaiser has a Militaw. That's really cool. It's a little bigger than this. Very EDC friendly. They have a Smult, which is right around the size. That's a pretty cool, good size as well. So those are definitely some knives that I have in my collection. And the Dread Eye, I would say the Smult, and now this right here are just, I don't know, just pretty phenomenal. Then I got a chance to check out Blackbird Blades. So if you don't know Blackbird Blades, he does custom knives, custom fixed blades, really phenomenal. He also did a production Grackle, which is a folder knife, really under the radar, such a good knife. I feel like if it just had a little more exposure, I think it would just blow up. It's just such a good fixed blade. And really need to check out my video on that one. But he did a production version of a fixed blade, the Grackle as well. And I got that in just recently. Really, really like it. It's small like this. It's very friendly. It's EDC. It's MagnaCut, S45VN MagnaCut, good versatile steel, right? Especially S45VN thick stock like this. And I like that size. It just works really well. So this is another one in that size. And I think if you didn't like, I mean, here's the thing. I like both of their designs. They're very different. And I carry knives some days how I feel, what I want to carry that day. Some days, I mean, like this, this would fit an aesthetic for me for the day, right? This is a day when I'm wanting something cut. I need to be slicing and dicing, doing some stuff. Other days, I might have a little pokey getting in the boxes. I mean, maybe I'll do the Grackle, right? But this just feels like, I don't know, it feels like a workhorse. It feels like a little, I don't know, it feels like a big, giant, mini workhorse. I don't know how that makes sense, but it feels like a big knife, ready for big work in a really small package. But ergonomically, that fits really nice in the hand. That's what I'm digging here, okay? I'm all about, I've checked out a lot of knives. It has enough flatness here, enough roundness, so it's not sharp, no pokey parts here, which is really cool. And this Richlite, let's say if this even bothered you, which they've really done a nice job of rounding everything, I could still file that. Richlite files real easy, like Micarta, G10, or carbon fiber, right? You can just get a little sand file and just take care of that. But it's actually pretty smooth. I'm just saying sometimes, you know, handmade, USA, you might have a little corner they might miss. So if you get one of these and you're like, oh, that corner's, just get a little file, buff it right off, you're fine, you're fine. I do that with a lot of my knives regularly. None of these are like perfect cast mold kind of thing, right? So sometimes you can just touch them up. But this fits really, really well. And I like this color. It's such outside of my palette normally. That's what blows me away about this color. I'm looking at this, sorry, I'm just kind of processing it. The color is just so different for me. But it works. It looks really cool, right? It looks really, really cool. Now, I'm sure as they sell these, and hopefully these will sell out really fast once you guys get an idea what they have. I'll have a link obviously down below. I would definitely go check them out. By the way, I love that the Luft Concepts. That's really cool. By the way, what were? Hold on. This is the Luft USA LTL. So we're gonna call this the LTL. Now I do. This is just unboxing, right? Just unboxing. When I do the review, I'll try to find out what does LTL stand for. Is it light to light tough? I don't know. Maybe it's light tactical. The Luft, the light tactical. The Luft tactical light, or the light tactical Luft. Maybe for like Luft Concepts. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I'm making up a name, and if it's not that, sorry. Jake and Ryan, I do apologize for that. Ryan is the one who I spoke to most recently about this one. And yeah, I don't know what it stands for, but I'm sure it's something really cool. And we'll have a, if not, I'll make sure I'll try to have it here. No, it'll be in the description down below. But yeah, so this is acid washed. And you know what's nice about acid washed, if you didn't know, it's like stone washed, acid washed. Definitely you can see the stone wash on here. you can tumble this, you can use it, abuse this, and it's going to get, you know, it get scratched up, and it's going to cover it well. You're not going to be like, oh, my pristine little knife. Now, we'll talk about the review where, you know, is this you could make this a collection piece. Every knife that you want can be, I don't care how cheap or expensive it is, you can make a collection piece. But I carry everything I use. Everything that's in my collection, I carry. Even the fancy knives. Matter of fact, Jake did a review about a year ago, maybe a little less, maybe, I don't know. He did the Proteon. We were at, I think, BladeBinge Shop, Texas. I was talking to him there. He just came back from going over, and I didn't even know about this yet, to Prince Customs table, and maybe it was in Atlanta. I can't remember. Jake, if you happen to watch this, or Ryan, if you happen to watch this, you remind me. Was that Atlanta or was that Texas when we were talking? But he just came back with his Proteon. And I saw it, and I thought, that's kind of a cool little looking knife. And he talked about it, and then I saw his review finally on it, and I was like, oh, that's really stinking cool. So I just want to let you know, by the way, thanks to Jake. Yeah, so here's my Proteon. And I even put a little Damascus clip, and then I fancied mine up. I polished some of this and this, which Princeton finally had future releases of his. So, you know, here you go. Here you got USA made, and there's variations. So there's things you can do to this. If you like to pimp something out, Jay Dizzle Designs, he's making some custom scales for me for one of my other knives. My smock that I recently got, the Rex 45 one, he could put some custom scales on here. So if you like the look of this and you're like, yeah, these are cool scales, but you know, I want something different. What's nice about screws like this, it's easy to attach and to replace them. Maybe for the mood you're in. Butterscotch micarta. You know, there you go. Maybe some fancy carbon fiber. I don't know. Whatever. But that's what I love about stuff like this. You can pimp stuff out like this. And then you can, you know, polish. Like if I were, not that I'm going to pimp this one out, but it could happen. I'm just, fair warning, Jake and Ryan, fair warning. When I love a knife enough, I start to make it its own creation. This right here is nothing what it was when it first came in. Polished all the way there, polished up here. You can see the back where the back spacer is not polished. It is actually a little polished, but I stopped polishing that because once I got the Damascus clip, I felt like this just needed some more. So this may still be another iteration to come. I don't usually have 2 or 3 of the same knives. Usually, I do have 2 or 4 or 5 pair of 3s, but that's because it's different steels and I modded each one out like crazy. But something like this, you know, this would be cool. Again, this is my style, my size EDC. Maybe not yours, and I get that, right? But, you know, S45VN blade steel is a tough, corrosion-resistant, really good steel. It's like a step up of like S35VN, where I believe the idea was S45VN was supposed to be a little easier to sharpen, a little more corrosion-resistant, if I'm not mistaken. Where S30V is a really good steel, but S35VN was a different iteration where that was supposed to be a little easier to sharpen and maybe be a little tougher, where the S30V maybe retains the edge a little bit longer, probably a little harder to I might have that mixed up. I can't quite remember the details there, but you'll have to let me know. But again, for most people, how they use a knife, are they going to notice the difference? Probably not. But for an outdoor fixed blade, that's where you don't want to get, my personal opinion, you don't want to do S110 or S90V unless it's purely, absolutely 100% a skinning knife, right? Like for when you go hunting. Then it's perfect. But even then, you got to be careful because if you're cutting through and you hit bone, you might chip the edge, right? S45VN is going to be pretty tough steel. I believe Rex 45 and S45VN is it Rex 45? What the heck am I thinking? Yeah, Rex 45. Sorry, there's Rex 121, Rex 76, and Rex 45. Yeah, I think Rex 45, it's another crucible metal steel, but it's supposed to be similar in some regards. Man, there's so many iterations out there. They're all different cool. They're all really cool. But anyways, I think this is really neat. I think it's really cool. I'm going to handle this a little bit. I'll tell you more about it. You'll probably see some videos on this. But I am super excited. Thank you to both Jake and Ryan out there for allowing me to check this out. This is very, very cool. Yeah, so full disclosure, they allowed me to check it out. They gave this to me. So don't be mad at me, guys, but I'm not going to be making this a giveaway. At least not anytime soon at all, because I really like this knife and I want to carry this knife. So, yeah. So if we find out that I love this so much down the road, maybe, if they have some more for sale, I'll buy one and make that a giveaway. So we'll see. But yeah, that'll have to be after I generate a little more revenue, and get to a little point where I have the funds, right? Because this last year was really tight. We definitely boosted up the collection this last year, so things have changed out, and I have less of certain things, but I have more quality of many things. And this, to me, is falling into my what I would call my 2024 kind of transition in my collection. This really fits into that. Yeah, I dig this. I dig this. Now, Jake and Ryan, just a thought as you continue to explore these, a nicer, bigger premium version of this. Maybe something a little bushwhacking kind of thing. I mean, maybe a little different blade shape. Maybe instead of where you come down, where this is great for Zamika, you could almost have a kitchen line. This could almost be a kitchen line of knives. I don't know. Just a thought. This would be a great little kitchen line series of knives, just like that. Anyways, sorry, my mind is just exploring because this is unique. This is unique. Let me zoom in so we can enjoy that. So first of all, let's look at that. I gave blood, so don't worry, I didn't cut myself. All right. They had to prick it to make sure that I had enough, I guess, red blood cells, or I don't know, it's platelets or something like that. I guess, I don't know what it is. But there's this wedge on top, which is really nice, beautiful, aesthetically looking, but also functional. You have where the flat grind comes down here. It is a flat grind. Let me just double check. Yeah, it's definitely a flat grind. But you know what? Hold on. Is this a convex grind? Wait a second. Hold on just a second. I could be wrong, but it almost feels like it rounds. Am I right? No, it's a flat grind. I thought for a second, like, you know how you have the Scandi grind, right? A Scandi grind is an edge where it rounds, like the Japanese line of knives. They do that a lot with their ZDP 189, the high polish version of theirs. I forget, but of course I'll remember here in just a second. But anyways, they have a Scandi grind. It's usually just the edge. I thought for a second this wasn't flat. It almost felt rounded, which is kind of cool. I mean, that to me could be very intentional too for some other functionality. But yeah, really nice, really nice. This is beautifully flattened, nice smooth edge. Everything. There's nothing crazy sharp around here. So I'm not gonna, it's sharp enough I can do a ferrous rod, but it's not sharp enough where I'm scraping my nail, right? It's not that crazy kind of sharp. This right here, you can say that's aesthetic. Yeah, absolutely, it's aesthetic. But you know what? When you're doing a precision cut, you're doing something like that. This is nice to be able to get a nice grip on your blade when you're trying to do that cut. Now, especially if you had game and you're skinning something, or let's say you're prepping your chicken, or you have food with you, and you got to prep that. Maybe you're making like a beef chicken stew or something, and you just you're getting rid of the skin off the chicken. This right here is a nice little tool, because sometimes it's not as easy to do it this way with a hand like this. You want to have your fingers right here, and a little finger up here. It works a little nicer. Anyway, sorry. I'm totally distracted by the knife, which is a good thing. So here is that Richlite micarta. I would call it burgundy, tan, and black. So there's little black specks in there. There's the tan mixed in with the Richlite, which gives it a unique sort of almost, kind of a camouflage, but just distinct look, right? It's very intentional. It's layered in there. So this is not like someone miscolored it. But it gives it something that's different, unique, kind of a, distinct, like your own distinct spots. Like everybody has a distinct, hair, fingerprint. That's what I feel like. This is like a distinct, and I love how they chamfered that. It's beautifully softened all the way around. You do have the lanyard loop right there. You can absolutely get your lanyard in there. These T's, I said I thought they're T15, T25. So let's just for the heck of it, bring my tool over here. I'm gonna see what size they are. So this is a T20 right here. You can see that T20. So let's see. Are they a T20? It is. It's a T20. So these are T20s. That's nice and robust. Nice and robust. All right. So that would be an easy way to get your scales off and to clean them. So very cool. All right. So here's a blade. Very minimum. Love that. That's etched in on the logo. And there's, you can see that beautiful stone wash of, it's like an acid / stone wash sort of thing. I like that. I like that. And here's the jimping on top. Goes over. That's not a pocket shredder, but once I put any pressure, my finger's locked in there. Here's that beautiful swedge on top. You can see the blade's pretty thick coming out here. A little thinner over here, but so you can definitely get an idea how thin it comes out to the edge. It's not super thin slicer. Like it's not like a I don't know, like Prince Customs, right? His is a hollow grind. It comes out to a crazy thin hollow grind. That's a different type of blade altogether. But I wouldn't want that in a fixed blade that I want to use and abuse and hard use, right? I want it to be tough, but yet to be able to slice. And so this is like the best of both worlds, right? You have what we're looking at here is a nice thick blade with a nice kind of a, I want to say 20 degree, 22 degree. That's what it seems like to me. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that's the edge from when I was just dropping there. But that, and then this is the fuller right there, both sides. You can see how it's rounded. There's no little sharp edge. This is what I noticed. You know, when I review a knife like this, a lot of times you can come in here and it could be all great, and then this little sharp edge right there, and it gets you. And then, especially if you're using this knife a lot, and you got a sharp edge, and it gets you. That's really, really disappointing. And when you see that that's already taken care of because they already thought of that, that tells me there's a lot of little details in quality. A lot of little details in quality that will come through overall in the overall ergonomic design. I love the full tang, very thick blade. I said I normally measure this in our review, but I don't know. For me, it's just cool enough. I feel like I want to measure this just now. We'll do the full review here in 1 second, right? Not 1 second, in another video after I've had it for a little bit, but I want to see, what is this, 140, 150? 140 thousandths of an inch. Okay, so it's a robust, nice, thick blade, right? But it does come down to a nice slicey part right there. Definitely something you could use now. Ideally, if you're out camping, use an axe if you need an axe. But if you got to break a couple of logs up, I mean, you could do that with this. If I got to get some kindling wood and I got to break some like bark off and get some sap, start my little, maybe get some shreds of a little bit of wood to create enough of a little timber that I can light up and start up. This could definitely be that knife. I wouldn't have to get out a big giant, you know, Bowie knife, which you know, obviously that's probably the better tool, or an axe or something like that. But this could absolutely serve that purpose. So if you're out, you know, maybe you're at you know, camping, and or you're at maybe just away for the weekend, and you're at some little, you know, cabin somewhere, and you want to start a fire in the backyard or a little pit there or something, you can still use something like this very easily. It's definitely something I would definitely use over if I'm carrying like more of a custom knife. This is a Prince Customs, obviously made in USA. It's a custom knife. Everything about this knife is custom, and obviously this is USA, great knife, great price for what you're getting USA made, but this knife is 3 times as much as that. Maybe 4 times as much with some of the stuff I did. All right. So, but I'm not telling you that this is super cheap. Okay. So if you're looking at this and you go, well, I can get me one of them Kaiser Schmaltz for like, you know, $60. Yes, you can. And if you're in a budget and you want to spend $60, go buy the Schmaltz. Absolutely. I recommend that. You don't be unhappy. Be happy with your purchase and love what you buy and buy what you love. But this is USA made. And I love supporting USA made. And a lot of times I don't buy USA made just because it says USA on there, right? I don't. I buy USA made because I like the design. I like the aesthetic. I like the ergonomics. I like the build. I like the quality. And 98% of my USA made stuff, I would say 99%, probably 100% of my USA made stuff I own personally, that's in my collection, stayed in my collection, is in there because it's just that well built. Okay, I'm not saying the stuff in China and Taiwan are not well built. And when I say USA made, I should probably include South Africa, Poland, Russia. What other countries do I have over there? Latvia. You know, there's Finland. There's a few other countries there, right? But talking basically, like, you can get stuff made in China a lot cheaper, but there's differences. This same knife would be very boring. You wouldn't have the same, I think, aesthetic and details. Could they produce the same knife for a lot less? Yeah, they could. They could. It wouldn't be USA made. And quite frankly, you know, if all I cared was a knife that looked like this, and I don't care who made it, and to me, the design, the care, the love that goes into a knife like this doesn't mean anything to me, yeah, there's no reason for you to buy a USA made knife. You're not the right person for that. But there's too many of us in the knife community who love stuff like this, and it means something to us. And this does mean something to me. I was going to open this. You know, I'm a little hesitant always to say, hey, yeah, I appreciate the opportunity, because I always feel a little sick. I'm always a little butterflies in my stomach, because sometimes I get something like this and you get it and you're like, it's not quite that good, right? I've had a couple of things where I got it and it was kind of defective, right? And it was enough that I said, hey, I just going to mail this back to you guys, okay? I really appreciate it. I don't think this is ready yet. And You know, I feel like if you want to maybe work on this a little bit and send another one out to me at some point, let's revisit this, right? But not yet, right? So anyways, that's my point about this knife. It's not that. It's ready. It's good. I like it. It's not a review. It's my first impression, even though I'm really handling it a lot. But I'll tell you, I'm going to carry this. We're gonna see what we're going for. But man, I like it. I like it. I really like the shape of this. This is really, really nice. Yeah, this could take over my fixed blade EDC for a bit. I am going to have to replace this out because I don't normally do the pocket in like this. This is great. Multi-clip like this is fantastic. I mean, but here's the thing. Everyone carries something differently, and you might want to completely carry this in a whole totally different way. And that is your call. You could absolutely do that. Do recommend that you find what you want to carry and how you want to carry it. I love that this has vents in there, especially if you're out hunting, right? And you've just cleaned your game or something, right? You want to go in and you want to put the knife away and you click it in. And, you know, if there's any drip stuff like that, it's in there. And then when you take it out, you can always clean, wash that out. So that's nice. So I like that. Very, very cool little knife. The sheath is really nice. I might even try this clip for a little bit because I actually have a couple of these clips that I don't use for my other pew pew stuff, right? Usually for extra magazines and stuff. So this right here, yeah, I might try that. So we'll see. All right. Hey, anybody else have already maybe gotten one of these? And what are your thoughts? What's your experience on it? What do you think about it? I'd love to hear from you. Again, I'm rambling. You know, Rob's Nerdy Knives, sometimes you get a little rambling. And I want to be fair. You know, I'm thinking through this logically, and I when I look at a knife, I don't look at just like, oh, it's steel, it got blade, it can cut. No. You know, I look at the ergonomics. I look at the intent of the knife. I look at the design of the knife. I look at the material used in the knife. Why did they use the material? How did they use the material, right? How does that all come together? What's the ergonomics? What's the action? Even, you know, it's a fixed blade. You know, what action can you have? Well, you know, going in and out of the clip. You know, I mean, out of the sheath can be sort of a part of the action. It's how you open and close it and use it. That's, to me, sort of falls into the action, but it's more the open and close, but you can kind of do that. But that makes a big difference on how you carry a knife and which knife you carry, right? So that's cool. The sheath is important to me. I really like Kydex sheath. I'm not a leather sheath fan. Every leather sheath I get, I cut, ruin. So I like this. This is different. This is very different. I'll tell you how that works out. I do dig that. I do dig that. Now, of course, I could get a custom Kydex sheath made for this. There's people who do that, and that absolutely is possible. But this is cool. Well, that's another thing that we're going to have a long-term kind of review impressions of. But yeah, I'm very excited to check this out. And my first impression so far is pretty winnow. It's pretty good. I like that. So yeah, again, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting that like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider also hitting the subscribe button? Subscribing and liking the channel really helps me out. Allows me to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. You know, like checking knives out like this, getting the opportunity to do that. And a big thank you to everyone out there who watches my videos, who likes the videos, who leaves comments, who's on the live stream, who's part of, you know, the whole community. Thank you. Sincerely, thank you. If you haven't already, hit that notification button down below as well. You can be notified of future content like this and other videos. And a big shout out to all my channel members out there. I appreciate you guys. You know, I do this part-time. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I do this for fun. This is something my son got me started in because he said, Dad, you should start this. And I did. And next thing you know, lo and behold, I seem to, you know, just sharing my thoughts. I connect with people. And I love that about the knife community. I connect with you guys. It's not just about me. It's about my experience. And then your experience is shared with me. And then me listening to that. And that changes my experience. So that's what I love about the knife community. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate the members because you allow me to continue to keep doing this stuff. There's days I feel like, oh, I just need a break. And it's not like, I don't feel like, oh, you got to get going. Don't give up. It's just, you motivate me. You get me excited again. So I keep going, right? So you're like my workout buddy. You're the person that just, I get excited. So thank you. Thank you, channel members out there. Everyone does that too, but the channel members, you got to put your money where your mouth is, right? You're so generous. And because you're so generous with that, that not only encourages me, it also allows me to do things that I didn't even think I could be able to do so early in the channel. So I'm super grateful for that. You help me cover shipping costs, stuff like that. We just had a big giveaway recently, and I mean, that's like over $350 in shipping. And if it wasn't for you channel members, I would not be able to cover that. So, you know, thank you. Thank you guys. It also, you know, you allow me to help continue to do a weekly giveaway. So I do two things for the members because of all of that. I do a once-a-month members exclusive giveaway. It's much nicer than the budget banger I give away each week. And two, if you're a channel member, brand new channel member, we're a channel member all along, we're a channel member, became a channel member again, but you're currently a channel member right now. You've never asked me for a channel sticker, never gotten a channel member sticker. Email me with your name and address. I'd also love to mail you a little channel sticker and a little thank you note. Also, my second way to say thank you to you guys. Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate the channel members. I appreciate the channel subscribers. I appreciate the viewers, people who are just here for the content. I appreciate people who give me positive, negative feedback. I do. Even if I disagree with you, I still appreciate you for watching the stuff, being part of this. I get you may not like some of my opinions. That's okay. We can agree to disagree, right? We're here because we love knives. We enjoy knives, and we're just going to talk about knives, right? I appreciate that. So just to let you know that. Thank you. If you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.